Guys, welcome back to making a vest, and here you can see I am wearing the completed vest that I showed you from the last video. Don't worry if it's not perfect, because you're definitely going to take things off, put things on, and you can see it's actually a little bit small on me. I should have added extra to all the sides and not just enough for a seam allowance, but that's okay. I can add stuff in. So I realized I forgot to put in here how I cut the vest. So really I just found a shape that I like, and I kind of found shapes that were similar to like the Batman symbol and some cool curves and shapes. I also had to add some fabric into the breastplate area because I just needed it to cover a little bit more. So I just glued it on underneath, as you will see when you see this next part. Alright, so I have my completed vest. You can kind of see in the back and the front where I've added and taken some away. This kind of actually created a neat little bump that I ended up kind of working around. You can see here I'm actually putting a little curve on top of that, and that's actually where I added to the breastplate. And so I just went ahead and started embellishing with foam. This was great because there were places that I needed to add to the breastplate, to the bottom, and then it just really ended up kind of being a way to hide the seams, but it also gave it just a really cool effect, and I would have done this regardless of the seams or not. So what you can see that I am doing here is basically just measuring out pieces to go around the vest, and I really wanted like little spaces in between them because when you look at, say, Wonder Woman's vest, she has kind of these strips that go through it that make it look much thicker and more like armor. And I didn't quite go with the straight and united look that she has. I really wanted to kind of go with more of a steampunk hodgepodge look with this. And so I just went around and I had my pencil handy so that I could go and just kind of draw where the curves were and then just cut it off and glue it down. The coolest thing about these pieces is that they were all pieces that ended up being taken from my cutouts. The way the foam works and it doesn't fray or anything like that, it makes it so that the negative space or the pieces in between cutouts can be used for all different kinds of things. I found these scrap pieces to be very handy for a lot. So definitely don't throw anything away from this, because even the thin pieces I ended up using as piping along my cuffs and other areas. You'll even see on the shoulders when I show you my finished embellishments here in a little bit that I used some cutouts that were kind of thin but curvy to go on the shoulders. I really truly just let the pieces kind of talk to me, which was really fun. It was not what I had planned on doing. It's just kind of how it happened because the foam ended up just being so much more fun to play with than I had anticipated. So here you can see I turned this around, and again, see this piece that I am putting on the back was another piece that had been cut out from something else. And it just looks so cool. Like all I had to do was cut it down and kind of make it fit how I wanted it to fit. So I was able to do that with a lot of pieces, as you will see. Because I decided to put some of these pieces on the middle seam in the back, and actually these pieces had seams to them as well because of where they came from, I went ahead and put a piece of foam right next to the seam underneath the flap that I was making, just to kind of give a little bit of a spacer there so that it wasn't such an obvious bump And I did that on every piece that I did on this middle back seam. I was going to edit this part out where I was really just kind of playing with this little piece here down at the bottom left, but I really wanted you to see that a lot of this was just kind of turning a piece, flipping it, playing with it, and just kind of going back and redoing it because I didn't really have pieces that fit exactly. I just played with them and put them where I felt like they fit well and cut them down. So you just continue on and on and on until you have everything fit the way that you like it, and that's it. It's pretty easy. So I'm excited to show you what I got from the embellishments, and then of course I'll tell you the last few things that you need to do to get this look. Alright, you can see here on the front of the vest I did make a kind of a little logo with a V because it was the Video Vixen, and I got all the embellishments, and there's my other logo that was the actual logo that I made out of foam and just built it up. And then here was the back, and there's the pieces that you saw me putting on, and I went ahead and went over those with a gold Sharpie after I painted it, so I like the way that it turned out. This is my woven duct tape that went up on the shoulders and in between the foam pieces on the shoulders. And I'll actually be doing a tutorial to show you how to do the weaving of the duct tape and putting it on. And yeah, I really like the way it turned out. Okay, so I forgot to record this part. Going to want to seal the foam with either a clear coat. I used the matte clear coat from Rust-Oleum, or Mod Podge. The spray paint left the foam with kind of a what they call a porous finish, where there was kind of like little holes in it, but I really liked this look. It made it look more like leather to me. I did do a sample with the Mod Podge and I could see the brush strokes, and it just didn't have quite the same finish. So in the end I used the matte clear by Rust-Oleum, and of course I will have a link in the bottom, and yes, it is an affiliate link, because if you use my affiliate links then I get paid to continue to do videos for you, and I'm excited about more of the videos that I have coming your way. And I digress. So after that is dry, really well dry, because you don't want the sticky feeling afterwards if you don't let it dry all the way, you're going to spray paint. Picking your desired color really is going to depend on what you want. I did go with a matte black at first, but then I've had some hammered paint on my back porch left over from another project. It was the silver, and I loved the way it looked on one of my cuffs. So I decided to go back to Home Depot once I ran out of that and get some hammered. I accidentally grabbed black, but I'm glad I did because it gives it a great leather effect, whereas the silver pieces look more like armor, which just happens to be the look I was going for the cuffs and the leather for the vest, so that worked out beautifully. To get the cool metallic aged look that I was going for, I used these metallic Sharpies. I actually used the gold one, as you can see, and didn't really have time to do as many coats as I would have liked to, but I did do at least 1 to 2 coats. I used this on the parts that were sticking out that I just kind of wanted to embellish, as well as I actually dabbed little bits of it around areas that I accidentally had the paint not be dry and it stuck to something and that pulled some of the paint off. So I really like the way that this turned out. I hope you guys will join me for my next video where I'm going to show you how to make the cuffs that go with this costume. And of course, if you liked this video and found it helpful, please like it and share it. And obviously, if you want to see more videos from me and be up to date on what I'm doing, please subscribe. Alright guys, thanks so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye!